Hey folks, how are you doing? It's Richard here from Bikepacking Adventures. I do hope that you're doing well. Yes, I'm out on a bikepacking adventure, but this video is about an upcoming bikepacking adventure. 2 and a bit weeks, in fact, from when this video has been recorded. And within that two and a bit weeks, I'm waiting for a new bike to arrive. But the bikepacking adventure I'm going to be doing is called the Camino de Santiago. Well, actually I'm going to be starting that ride in Porto in northern Portugal, and then riding into the city of Santiago de Compostela. Try my best to pronounce these names. And the Camino are basically just pathways to the city of Santiago. Now it's a pilgrim's route. There are several of these that should lead to Santiago. Firstly, I'm doing the Porto one along the coastal strip. There is a central strip as well, because you can ride further down in Portugal. I'm going to be riding, I think it's about 280k to Santiago, and along the way I've got like a brevet card, let's call it that, but it's a passport, I think, pilgrim's passport. You pop into places along the way and they stamp your card, and when you get to the cathedral in Santiago you can pick up a certificate as long as you've done 200k. Most people walk it. I'm going to be riding it because that is really just the beginning of the journey. I'm going to be heading straight east from Santiago to pop the name up on screen. The route itself I've downloaded off Ride with GPS, so hopefully it's the official route. If not, it's just going to be a bit of fun anyway. I'm going to be collecting stamps as I go along that northern stretch as well, as make way into France via the Pyrenees. I'll be stopping in that host city in France, and from there I'll be taking maybe a little bit of rest, probably not. It really depends how I'm feeling, because after that, from bottom to top of France, before eventually I'm going to be arriving in Brittany, Ouistreham, and catching my final ferry back to Bournemouth, I think it is, or was it Portsmouth? Now the very first thing you probably want to know is, am I planning on recording the adventure? And that is an easy one to answer. Of course I am. The plan is to take with me the drone. Depending on where the videos come out, what order they come out, you may have noticed I've got a new camera, and that's on the handlebars. It's exactly the same one I'm using right now. It's an Action 4. I've got 2 Action 4s, so hopefully it's going to help build the quality. I'm not holding the camera in my hands for a change because I've got this nice tripod, and I'm hoping to take that with me as well. It's nice, compact. And for those of you probably wondering about Instagram, yes, I'm hoping to do daily reels if I can. Just need to try and get into that habit to that still. Often here in the UK, you do a reel, you try and publish it, but you can't because there's no internet connection. Had a little bit of rain in first time it's rained in probably weeks, if not over a month. It's gone again. There was just that little black cloud there, rained for about 30 seconds. I love living in Lincolnshire. So quiet, peaceful, plenty of countryside. Even in the built up areas you don't have to go far. I don't think I want to be going this way, but I am now. I don't think this is right. Well, let's go find out. In today's ride I'm actually cycling down to Clipstone Forest, better known as Sherwood Pines, the bike park. It's the second week in a row that I'm planning to wild camp in those woods. It's definitely warmed up a lot more than this time last weekend. Tell you what, there's a lot of land for sale around here. For agriculture, it says there. Okay, what else I've got to tell you about this trip? How long? I guess I've got 17 days to do it. Got 17 full days, and that's because there's a bank holiday in there. Managed to take 11 days off work. Distance wise, it's almost 2,000 kilometres. Bear in mind, back in 2022, I did 4,500 kilometres in 3 weeks. So that's why I'm putting it in perspective. I've got half the distance and about a week less to do it, so that's pretty good. Hello. Arrive about midnight on the Friday, and planning on pulling my bike together at the airport, and then immediately finding somewhere to wild camp. Got a few ideas on my GPS, a few pins down, places that I can go. What about sleeping, accommodation, camping, wild camp, that kind of thing? Well, just like my Netherlands bike trip from a couple of years ago, I've been pretty much doing what I did then and making up as I go along. Any sort of money that I'm saving on accommodation will just go into eating well. But yes, with it being a 17-day trip, I will need to stop sometimes, especially to charge my electrics and things like that, my phone and batteries in the cameras really. This here, the Chorus Jura, my GPS computer, will last the entire trip, no doubt. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised. So yes, wild camping, making stuff up as I go along. Somewhere looks good and I fancy it, I'll go in there. It's not a race, it's a true bikepacking trip, so I can do what I want really. I'll be travelling lightweight, bivvy setup. I don't know whether to take a tent, and the last few months I've been forgetting about the bivvy bag. Just take a tent and the pegs, and then, you know, if it's really warm and I sleep outside, I've already trained myself not to need a bivvy bag, so on those nights I can just not put the tent up. Of course, if you've got a tent, it's harder to find places where you can just throw a tent up in the middle of nowhere, so got a couple of weeks to go yet to make my mind up. Talk about a couple of weeks to go. Also, we're going for that stage of buying things for the bike, and we're trying to work out what I need and stuff. And I was ordering some bits off Amazon today, and I've just realised another couple of bits I need, and that is bottle cages. I definitely need those. I will tell you which bike I'm getting in a little while, but there's so much to talk about when you're on these big bike trips, so much to plan and everything. And the next one is kind of planning really in terms of the route. So I use a Chorus Jura. It's got a massive battery life. Like I said earlier, it should last the entire journey. I've planned everything in my GPS, or will have when I finished. I downloaded a couple of routes I found online. I just need to go through the route, put loads of POIs down, places to stop and things like that, so they can come up on the screen, or I can just jump on my phone and I quickly have a look. And it's not just one route, I've actually broken the entire thing down into 10 routes. Basically each route is roughly 200k, somewhere like 210 to 15. The cut-off point is basically right just outside of the town or something like that. I won't be riding 200k days, so there'll be short days and long days, maybe even rest days. Probably not, knowing me, because I just like riding bikes. The other reason for splitting the route into pieces is it's the same as what I did with the TCR really. It was, I think it's about 43 different routes which made up the entire journey. And basically as I got to the end of one, you'd load the next one, get to the next one, load the next one. You just kept riding, you didn't stop to load, you just kept riding kind of thing. And I always made sure each route ended neatly as well, not like have a junction or, you know, traffic lights or something like that. Somewhere I could just keep on riding. Up ahead of me on the hillside there, that's a place called Grinkley on the Hill. I've got to go up there, and then, well, I'm in Nottinghamshire now. I'm heading towards Retford, a town called Orsal. I've got to come off route there a bit and find something to eat for evening meal. As far as this weekend trip goes, I've got a lot of choices really. Because I'm going through Clumber Park. I haven't stopped there before. Could do if necessary, if I'm a bit late. There's a lot of woodland between Clumber Park and Sherwood Pines, and there's a bit I was eyeing up last weekend. It's not actually in Clumber Park, it's just the other side of it. I think I'm going to go there. It's just before some place called Budby. It looked promising, so probably going to go there tonight, tick a new location off. Oh, look at this, I just stumbled on. Whew. Don't mind if I do. Oh, God, this would be good if it was like raining. Middle of nowhere. It's not quite wide, it's not quite wide enough to bivvy, and you'd have to have your head underneath the bench or something. The hills are slow going on the mountain bike in that heat. But I'm getting there. Less than 30k to go, so yeah, plenty of time. Just finish this off. As I said earlier, I ain't got the bike yet. I should have it by this time next week, which gives me about a week to ride it, make sure it's okay and set up alright, get everything sorted out onto it. And that bike is an Argon 18 Dark Matter. I'll show you a few bits on screen, shall I? So it's wheel set wise, it's same as I've got on my gravel bike. It's a DC Swiss, my Spline 1800. It's a GRX, it's a Shimano GRX, I don't know which range it is, but it could fit a 51 cassette on it. So yeah, a dinner plate on the back. Huge tyre clearance, up to 57 C tyres, so that's inches. I think that's like 2.1, maybe wrong, 2.05, something like that. It's going to be my summer stroke big adventure bike. It's not going to come out for the small rides and small adventures. I'm going to keep using my nuke-proof digger for that. Cactus green, I think it was, because I love green. I love all things green. So it was either that or like a similar to the nuke-proof, that red and maroon colour. Oh, I could just sleep on this field. Oh, God, so warm. Even though the sun's behind the clouds, it's boiling. The nuke-proof has had a long journey there, and it's had a lot of big adventures. It's looking, it's been a proper workhorse, but it's now time to upgrade. The Argon 18 will probably be, like I say, the biggest rides. There's meaningful rides. There's one-off, one time of the year rides, summer rides. I want to take good care of it because it's carbon for starters. I've never ridden, well, I have ridden a carbon bike. My last carbon bike was the Cube. I used to have a Cube Agri Pro, and yeah, I looked after that alright. And I just remember it being so much lighter. I nearly went for a titanium bike. Like I did look at the what was it? Sonda do one. I can't remember what it's called now. Not the Camino. They're doing another one. It's Sundra or something like that. Sondra. But in the end, I decided to go with my first choice all along, the Dark Matter. Did anybody manage to guess that? I don't think I'd hinted anywhere what sort of bike I was after. Only people close to me have spoken to about what bikes I've been looking at. So yeah, do you think that's a good choice? These are 2.25 inches. These are actually new tyres. I got these earlier this year in May for the Great British Escapades. Victoria, sorry, Mezcal's XC race tyres, 29ers, 2.25. So what's that? Is that close to 57 millimeters? I love this bike as well. This is my baby mountain bike. Look at it. Look at that. Look how much I'm carrying. Barely nothing. That's why I love bike packing this time of year, because usually, well, in the last few years it's been really, really hot. You don't really have to carry much. Right, I'm hungry, so I'm going to get to Orsal, have a takeaway. Well, folks, coming towards the end of my ride, and the sun just breaking underneath the clouds now. We're in the golden hour. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? I do love a good sunset, and that's up there. Just left for Retford. That's behind me. Popped into a chippy, haddock, chips and beans for a change. The wind's behind me as well, which is a lovely jubbly. When I've been going into it, it's not been very nice at all. Camp is not too far away. Hopefully that spot I picked out will work a treat. I'm sure what it's like when I get there, because I'm not planning to arrive after dark, so you should pay to see where I'm sleeping tonight. You know what I said about getting to camp early? Well, hey folks, it is the morning. Got here late, it was all dark and everything, so no opportunity to film. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I think it's just got stopped to eat in Retford and took a bit longer than expected. I mean, I could have stopped loads of times sooner, but I decided that I was determined to get to where I am right now. So I had a really good night's sleep, slept really, really well. It's 7:15 now, just about to have breakfast, which consists of crepes. I always buy these flat crepes. I think from Saint-Pierre is the brand. I've also got some Graham's. It's like a yogurt in a pouch. That's from Lidl. So that's my breakfast this morning. So the setup I've got here today, in terms of sleepwear, is probably very similar to what I'm going to be taking with me through Portugal, Spain, and France on the Camino. Because you just don't need a lot. But like I said yesterday, whether I take a tent plus what I've got now is another thing. I may or may not. I may just stealth it all the way around and check into a hotel when I need to, kind of thing. Right, let's get going again. Just strolled back onto the path. I just wanted to tell you something. It must have been about 11 o'clock. Listened to the GCN show, and suddenly I saw these white lights. I'm like, there's people riding around this time of night. And then my woman running along, and I'm like, discreetly turning my GCN off, watching these white lights bob their way all the way along this path here. And then like, back to GCN it is. Just a bit random really. I was just minding my own business. A couple of lights, 11 o'clock, couple of runners. I'm like, I can probably understand if it was like the South Downs Way or Peak District or something like that, but a random wood in Nottinghamshire. Yeah, equally random. Right, anyway, so I'm heading to Clipstone Forest now. I'm going to have a play around the bike park there. So I'm just going through, which woods is this? This is Sherwood Woods. Sherwood Forest. Yeah, why do they call it woods? So, stop bleeping at me, I'm just going off route. Don't worry. Ah, it's going to keep on beeping. Yeah, this is Sherwood Forest. I'm just heading down to, well, past the Major Oak into Edwinstowe, get rid of some rubbish. There's a shop there, nip in there, and that'll do me. Riding around the bike park. I'm not planning to stop at the cafe there this week, save some pennies for the holidays, and then ride the red route, the outlaw MTB route. Yes, this is the Major Oak. It used to be the oldest tree around for miles and miles. It's expected to be over 1,000 years old, but it's pronounced dead this year, and I've not noticed that before. And I don't know, there's a big crack in it. Maybe that was there already, but it's gonna start falling, isn't it, I reckon. It's a bit criminal now, actually, these stilts have been here still. As for the Travellers Village, the archery over there, axe throwing, the inn when it opens, the Jewel Inn. It doesn't sell beer, it just sells coffee, which is pretty disappointing, that really. We've got guys selling wares. There's another, I think they have like a fortune teller woman in here, things you can buy, memorabilia, things like that. So it's very much a higher activity here in a few hours' time. That's just plain wrong. Anybody got a pen? You just never mix the two, do you? That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and got something useful from it. Do you know anybody's done the Camino de Santiago? Perhaps you've done it. Comment down below. You know, did you bike it? Did you walk it? Love to hear from you. What should I expect when I get over to Portugal and Spain? Will there be lots of this kind of countryside and trails, sandy trails? I expect it to be somewhere between the two. If you want to watch more mountain bike content on my channel, especially here at the Outlaw Trail, I'll stick a link in the top corner of the screen if you want to go and watch it. I'll following the rest of this trail back to the visitors centre, and then make a beeline out of it to Southwell. Enjoy the rest of my day. Comments, questions, stick them down below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one, which might be a few weeks away.